Okay. Wow. For a minute there, I thought we were not going to make it, but we are here and we are live. Susan, it is good to see you.
You too.
And it is touch and go. It is touch and go. Well, good afternoon, everybody. As you can see, my guest is already here, Susan Waringa. Our apologies, we're having technical issues. And with the way the afternoon is going, we can only pray that we will hold a steady call for the next 1 hour. And if we don't, one of us is just going to ride with it. So welcome to Tuesday Talks at 3. This is a platform where women help one another in our daily journey as we go through the sphere of life. And my name is Lucy Makridis. I am the founder, the owner of LMC Consultancy, and an expert in helping women get unstuck and onto their true potential. So what is it that I do? I help them unlock their limiting beliefs, those things that hold you back from just going over and being successful or achieving that goal. I am a certified life coach, I'm a mentor, and I'm an online facilitator. Thank you for being with us here. Thank you for just joining us here today. And like I said, the challenges are many today, but as my guest will tell you, in events. In fact, Susan, what is the term that you use in events?
Eventualities, unexpected eventualities. Ridiculous.
Unexpected eventuality.
Yeah.
So, when and if they do happen, then wow, we're just going to be able to take them into our stride. I like to say that when we falter, we need to step up. We need to get up. When we fail, we need to stop and get up. Yeah, when we make mistakes, we need to take stock, get up and move. We cannot afford to give up.
No.
So whatever is thrown at you, Susan, we need to keep our eye on the ball. Yes, we need to take it. So I am trying to see whether we have our Facebook streaming. I'm not seeing it for now, but I'm sure that it will pick up. Anyway, so a little bit about LMC Consultancy. We have a few services that are of interest at this time of the year. The biggest one being the goal setting 2021. It's all about clarity, guys. If you do not have a game plan, if you do not know in which direction you are going, you will end up anywhere. You will end up either realizing somebody else's dream that you put action into and made it a goal, or you might just end up, like the story in the Bible of the Israelites. Canaan was only 11 days away. These guys took 40 years. So you may be walking around in the desert for 40 years because you have no game plan, guys. So goal setting, clarity is what we're giving you here at LMC Consultancy. Join us, drop me a direct message, and I will come back to you. We are running these programs. So come to me and let me take you through planning and being able to identify, planning, and execute. I even take you further to another one called Awakening Self, because you may have all these grand ideas to run. But Susan, you will agree with me that if you do not have the correct mindset, you shall be left holding an idea in your hand. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. No, absolutely, Lucy. I agree with you. You have to have a coachable mindset. You've got to have a growth mindset. Otherwise, it doesn't matter what you do as LMC and who you contact or who you train. If they don't have that coachable mindset, I want to grow. I want to learn from my mistakes. Where have I been? What am I doing? What can I do better? Then it is just a waste of time. You have to know as yourself as a person, I want to change. I want to grow from what I was last year. For me, I call it evolving.
I'm loving that. So without the growth mindset, you're not.
You won't take this one. You won't make it without a growth mindset. So you have to be coachable. You have to learn. You have to accept that every day is a learning process. It's a learning moment. Doesn't matter how you think you're experienced. I learn every day, even in my industry that I've done for so many years, that I can be better than what I am. So I sit with you, Lucy. Doesn't matter how many years we've been together. I know I need to learn something different from you. So I think Lucy has gone off for a bit. So I think I'm just going to introduce myself and just say who I am. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for signing in today. Lucy should be back. Technical issues, like we said, unexpected eventualities. So I have been in the events management business for, well, close to over 15 years, and I have mastered this game at what it is. And I'm still learning, like we said, I'm still learning every day. And even as Lucy waits to come back, just to tell you who I am, I have been a host and I've been hosted, meaning I have worked at the different brands in the hotel industry, the Kempinski, the Heritage Hotels, and of course the Radissons. So I know what it is to be hosted and to host. So thank you all for signing in. We're happy to have you here in doing what you love. Yeah, welcome back, Lucy.
Thank you so much, Susan. What you just see, I have the host or the hostess of the mostess with me, because clearly the industry that she has chosen, which is events, is the one she really belongs to. And these are the things that can happen while she's busy running a program, you know, and she has to plan for them. So Susan, I'm happy to have you on the show with us today. And I was just introducing my programs and walking into Awakening Self. So Awakening Self is just like I ended up there saying that you may have all these ideas, guys, but when it comes to the execution, if you do not have the correct mindset, and here I'm actually talking about the scarcity mindset, and your scarcity mindset is looking at things like as if it's the end of the world. So you're not able to afford to put what do I say? Fuel in your car, let's say. You want to go somewhere, you're not able to put fuel in your car because you don't have that money. And there you go saying, oh, everything is wrong, everything has collapsed around my world. You're calling it, you know, you're calling it. Yes. That's a scarcity mindset. Yes. Because you need to be able to see the opportunity in this. So you cannot fuel your car. There's another way that you can get where you're going. There's another way that you can get your work done the day. And these are the mindsets that I walk you through in the Awakening Self program. So at LMC Consultancy, not only do we have that, we also have a great program for young ladies. We call it the Lady in Waiting session. And this Lady in Waiting program is bringing girls to gracefully transition into society. We teach them things like etiquette, whether it is social media etiquette. Yes, social media etiquette, because today everything is on social media. Whether it is dining etiquette, whether it is work etiquette, whether it is business etiquette, these are the things that we do. And we help these young ladies know who they are, core values, know what's important to them. Yeah. Susan, what are your thoughts on core values?
Let's agree that it doesn't matter where you go across the world, across your society, that you have to have high quality core values. You have to know who you are. That will take me to my first discussion point, which I don't want to open up right now, but I totally agree with you, Lucy, and I will expand on it shortly. But you have to have core values, otherwise you don't have a foundation. You have no foundation without them.
Very true, very true. Yeah. And you know, as a life coach, I really insist that people need to know who they are, because again, just like a business or a game plan, if you don't have an objective, a purpose, a compelling why, you can end up anywhere. And the saddest thing is you could end up realizing somebody else's dream that has become an action because of your activities, and not actually arrive at your dream destination because you did not have a game plan. Yes. You just did not have a game plan. And just like in that way, as a human being, you need to know who you are. Yeah. Because Susan, if you don't know who you are and somebody comes and says to you and labels you, Do you know you become that label?
Yeah, it's true.
Yes. You have to defend yourself and say, actually, I hear what you're saying, and I can imagine where you're getting that from. But let me tell you who I am. And then you break it down for them. By the time they're leaving you, they have no doubt as to who you are. So yes, these are the things that we do at LMC Consultancy. And you may ask, why do I call myself an expert? Well, I have been in the hospitality industry for over 30 years. And in that time, I have worked with women, one of them being Susan Waringa herself. I have worked with women. And with these women, they have either held me up to the position that I got to, or I have helped them up to the positions that they are still going to, because I am much older than all of them. Let them not cheat you. Yeah, so I have worked with women, and I have loved every moment of it, the good, the bad, the ugly. I have loved it all because it has made me who I am. It was not a smooth road.
No.
And at a certain time there, I was bitter. But then after a while, I realized that I can use this as a stepping stone to my success, my continued success. And so I give it up to women. And I say thank you so much to the fellow women who helped me get where I am today, that I am here presenting with you. But then came something bigger called COVID. Now, when this pandemic happened, it caught me in the middle of a consultancy. And I'm in the hospitality consult. Let me tell you, things just collapse. And Susan, we are going to discuss about you.
Downhill. It's true.
Just went downhill. And then these words started coming up, these words that people were using and throwing around carelessly: repurpose, re-strategize, reframe. And nobody is telling you how to do it. How to do it. Then I started watching these side hustlers, people with hustles. And these guys with hustles are the ones who are still putting food on the table, while me, coming from a fantastic background, hospitality industry, I couldn't put it together. Anyway,
corporate world, we came from a corporate world to I don't know what.
What was that? What was that? That was a shock to the system. But that is when I realized that what reframing, re-strategizing, rethinking, revisiting, what those words meant. I had to rethink my game plan. I really had. And I rethought it, and I found that my purpose was still intact. I still wanted to help build one another, and specifically women. So I dusted LMC nicely, and I brought her back up, and I started building up the products like the ones that I've explained to you. So I found that my purpose was the same. My journey had to change, because the journey that I was on now had been disrupted totally. There was chaos.
Very true.
And that is when Awakening Self was born, because Awakening Self, in those days of being alone in the house, is when you realize and you're there with your thoughts. There's no 8 to 5 you're going to.
No.
You're there with your thoughts. Let me tell you, Awakening Self awoke.
That's so real. That is so real. You have no idea. I mean, everything that you used to do for the last 8 years, you just wake up and it's no longer there. 6 years to be precise, actually even 7. And you don't even know where to start. And they named, we all know that COVID hit the hospitality industry the most. So they give us names that we thought we were everything and doing stuff. And here we are now, and we have nothing to do. We're trying to start other side businesses, and we have no idea how to do it. So I totally agree with you. It was something else.
So true. And when I landed on this thing called Ikigai, Ikigai tells you, it's a concept, the Japanese concept, that it's doing what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs it, and then you're getting paid for it. And it clicked for me that is what my 2021 is all about: doing what I love, being good at it, because the last 8 months I have become good at what I'm doing, really good. And I am so happy to declare that I am good at it. And is it what the world needs? Oh, yes. And experientially, I have gone through it, so I can help fellow women walk this path. So for you who is listening, thank you so much for joining us. Whatever situation you are in, just talk to us. I am just making sure that I have my live on, and I can see a few of us here. Nobody is commenting yet. Alex, you're one guy amongst ladies. It is good to see you here, and I do hope that you can actually contribute to the conversation. We're looking at doing what we love, and I have my guest here today. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining in. And when Ikigai set in for me is when I decided January was going to be about fulfillment.
Yeah.
That is how we start. It is the beginning. It is the first part of the year. It's about new beginnings, you know. It's great. Irene Maweu has already commented. She says, do you think that sometimes we are so comfortable with our usual that we don't make time to learn new things, new trades, new dance moves? It is so true.
Yes, that's so true. That's absolutely 100% true.
Yeah, and that was true for me for the longest time.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? I mean, it is for all of us. It's in one of my discussion points where successful people are the ones who learn how to duplicate themselves to do so many other little things. So you're not just the center of one particular thing, but you are doing so many other little things. So it's unfortunate that a pandemic is what taught us how to multiply ourselves, just like the virus is doing. It's got a new strain now in the UK. I mean, we need to come up with all new strains in life. Wake up and duplicate yourself into something. Do like another 3 pieces or 4 pieces of you. I mean, I am trying to do like a million things now. I never want to be caught up in this. So she's very right. People had to learn how to do new dance moves. Yeah. And the corporate world was hit the worst. So especially the hotel industry. But yeah, so I totally agree that it's in one of my discussion points where it says success.
And we better get there very quickly because, you know, Susan and I, we come a long way and we can actually be overtaken by the things that we are catching up on. So why don't I introduce her? I know she introduced herself when I was lost out there, but for those of you who are coming in right now, yes, she tried. I caught the tail end. So Susan Waringa Kamau is a director at Event Planning Experts. She is an events management professional with over 17 years in the tourism and hospitality industry. Yeah, she has also held positions like meetings and events ambassador for Africa and Indian Ocean, and meetings and events trainer for East Africa, all with the Radisson Blue. She has worked with these international chains. Even Kempinski, she has worked there as an events and conference manager. So today she's here to share her story with us of how she started off event planning experts and her journey, things that we can pick nuggets from, because all this is about self and personal development, self-worth, it is self-love, it is reinventing yourself. All those things come together, but it's about that mindset. You can either sit back and say, well, there's nothing I can do. Yeah, it's happening to everybody. Hello, you have a choice. And there's something called the locus of control. You have to choose. Are you in control? Are you waking up and being in control on purpose? Ikigai says that it is a reason for being, the reason to wake up in the morning. What are you doing every time you open up your eyes? So let's listen to Susan's story. I really want to hear about her choice of work and how it is that she landed here. I mean, this is what she did in the hospitality. But, you know, just to bring it all and funnel it down to one thing, tell us about you, Susan, and your choice of work. How did you arrive at it? What kind of resources were at your disposal? What were the risks? Just tell us.
You know, it's interesting how they say that life is not about coincidences. Where you find yourself and you feel like you're really good at it is a calling. So you need to wake up and understand. If you like something from the start building on that. Start building on that and making it into your dream. Yes. And it actually brings me to my first point, because I already said I've been in events business for the last over 15 years. I am the director, CEO, and founder of Event Planning Experts. Mm-hmm. And I have a new strategy for 2021, and I want to go through it. And I'm saying, I'm not doing this. The hotel industry is not bringing me down. COVID brought down the hotel industry, but we are getting up. We are getting back up, and we will, because we're so good at what we've been doing for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
You cannot destroy us in 1 year. It's your mindset. How coachable are you? How do you want to grow? And I say in my first point, you need to know that you're a brand. You are a brand.
Yes.
What are your accomplishments? What have you done as a person? What's your experience portfolio? What are your milestones? Is this your industry? This is what you realize, I want to do this. Have you abandoned it and tried so many other little things? Or have you stuck by it and decided, this is what I want to do and I want to grow this?
Yeah.
That's knowing you are your own brand. Build it and have no apology to it. It doesn't matter what happens in the middle. Yes, our industry crashed. You should see most of us. We are still walking as if everything is working so well, because we said no. We can have gathered all that 15 years experience, Lucy. We're not Rolling Stones, man. We gathered more. Yes. We really gathered experience. We will not give it up for COVID. We are all building back our industry and said, I want to do this. I'm an events professional guru. I'm a PCO by profession. I've done international conferences since even before I knew I had the experience for it, from Istanbul to Dubai to where, and then coming and working with the big brands, Kempinski, Radisson, and the rest. And then now opening this, I have a new strategy. Last week, I was doing my vision board 2021.
Wow.
And there's only one thing that came out as I was putting my pictures and putting my notes. Is it going to be business as usual? No. I am not doing business as usual. I am aligning, I'm communicating, I'm collaborating, I'm putting together a team because I want to succeed. It's not going to be business as usual. We lost 2 years. So you're working for 2020 and you're working for 2021. So know your brand now. Every day you work, you're working for 2 days, not one, because you got 2 years to recover. You got 2021 and 2020. I mean, so for me, I know you need to wake up and ask yourself, am I a brand? And the second thing I would keep saying is, do you want to take your business to the next level? 2 years ago, I took a team that I was working with. I was number 2 in the company. And I did a training called SHINE. SHINE stands for Strategize, Hunt, Innovate, Navigate, Evolve. You got to strategize your business. I have a completely new strategy for 2021. Have you chosen that for yourself? Do you want to do things differently? And if last year didn't work, or 2019, I'm gauging myself with 2019, not 2020. If it didn't work, then you need to strategize, totally different. You need to hunt. I keep saying, when I'm looking for business, I don't hunt like a lion. I hunt like a lioness. It goes looking for business because it's got a whole pride and cubs to feed back at home.
Yes.
I'm going for that business. So I hunt desperately.
Yeah. And
in a very professional way. And I will say the next is navigate. If your ship is not going correctly where you've been doing it, then change course. Just change course and decide, I want to do this totally different. Because if you don't change course, then you're going to be left in the same line. Then you need to innovate yourself with the new times, technology. It's not the same. I mean, right now, I'm not posting or marketing for face-to-face meetings. I'm doing hybrid meetings. I had to know the new suppliers in hybrid meetings. Who are the production people? Where are they? How do I sit with them? How do we do an entire production that's a hybrid? It's in a studio, it's not in a studio, and it's live. I had to wake up and innovate myself. And the other one is evolve. How good are you at what you do as a person? Are you the same person you are in 2019? Because if you are, or 2020, and mark my word, I am avoiding 2020. I am comparing myself with 2019. It was a full active year. If I am the same person, then something's wrong. My strategy is not going to go right.
Yes.
So that's what I keep saying about yourself. And then the rest is, you need success takes Courage.
Before we get there,
Yeah. Yeah.
we've got a comment here from Irene. She says, I would not say that COVID brought down the hotel industry. Like all other industries and sectors, it exposed the gaps and the assumptions that we have about what we do and how we do it. It's an interesting thought there that she brings out, where she says that not so much did it bring down the hotel industry, although Irene, I will say, without clients, clearly it did bring down the hotel industry.
It did bring us down.
Yes, because the customers would travel. You couldn't travel anymore.
It did bring us down. It did bring us down.
But I am loving this thought process of, like all other industries and sectors, it exposed the gaps and the assumptions that we have about what we do and how we do it. And I know, Susan, we in this hotel industry, and I speak from, I'm an authority when I speak about it, we have been hit by so many other things. Now, this was now COVID, but before that, it was terrorism that had hit us. And the first one that we got hit with that really shocked us was the one in Kikambala, quite a few years back. And that shook the industry, specifically at the coast, which was the charter industry. And the charter industry used to come in and fill up the coast. Those hotels, one after the other, would be full because these charters were just landing in a day, 5 days a week. They were landing, 300 people on board, coming to stay 2 weeks, spilling over to the national parks, very rarely coming to Nairobi when you talk about business meetings or talking about business people. So it was holiday makers. So when that hit, suddenly the industry began to realize, there's a gap here. We have got all our eggs in one basket.
There is.
So
we
started having the learnings there. And when we learned, we grew. We grew taking in other kind of source markets. But business. Then it took another 2 attacks, terrorist attacks, for us now to zone into domestic tourism.
Yes.
Domestic tourism, even if you're given a budget line.
Yes.
Given a budget entry line.
Yeah.
Yes, Irene, those gaps are true. And though we have learned over the years, evolve, like Susan says, still our way of business remained the same. We wanted face to face.
Same.
The rest of the world was going virtual. Zoom was already happening in other parts of the world. We were refusing to adapt. We were refusing, but now
changes, innovate. We refuse to change our mindsets and everything. It's true.
Yeah, we totally refused. But
no,
now
we did.
Look at what we have done in 1 year as a country.
Honestly,
we have grown leaps and bounds. Not only have we been forced to go on Zoom, we've taken it a step further. As Kenyans, give us an idea and we run with it.
Oh, yes.
Give us an idea. We've got young boys and young girls coding for us and coming with new products that we would use. So I love what you have brought out.
Yeah, very true.
And the assumptions. What other assumptions can you share with us, Susan? What other assumptions come to mind that of the way that we did work?
I have to admit that, yes, Irene's comment is absolutely 100. And I really love it because it actually gets all of us thinking. Because look at it, Lucy, you've just said it. Irene, we were hit by so much in our industry. We're hit by terrorism. It just bumped us off. We moved on. We never thought that something like this would really affect us. And yes, many other industries were affected. But when I talk about the MICE industry, our feeder markets are completely out. I mean, we're talking about UAE, we're talking about South Africa, we're talking about UK. We got what we call a summit canceled for an entire 12 months and is on, for the first quarter and second quarter, is still on hold. So when we talk about the MICE industry being affected, yes, we were, but we were affected by, like Lucy's saying, the terrorism and everything. And we never thought that something like this would come.
We never did.
Did we ever think that we need to think differently? And I need to be thinking about production people and how I need to market this because industries had to continue. Yeah. And she's very right. It was gaps that we realized, oh my God, because think about it. even though we didn't have COVID or we did not have the terrorism, we could still have sold hybrid meetings.
Oh yes.
We could still have our aim, but we never did.
And today, Susan, we would be ahead. And hear me out. Hear me out. When you look at convention centers around the world, they have quickly adopted this. They've got rooms that are already kitted out for meetings. I mean, they were not really doing the hybrid meetings per se in the way that it is perceived today that we're going to be doing. But what they were doing, they had rooms that already had the systems.
Yes.
People could patch in. For instance, you'd find that the main keynote speaker is in Manila.
Yeah.
But this conference is being held in South Africa. And this person was patched in. And you would even have the translation equipment hooked on that system. They already
video cameras.
Yeah, they had a kind of a framework. We didn't.
No.
We still do not.
No.
So there are certain Kenyan companies that have come now with all these ingenuities and innovations. And now they are the companies that are growing. They're on a trajectory.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Irene, for sharing that. Susan, Sheila says to you, Susan, we are all our own brands. That is a valid and profound reminder. Oh, yes. Thank you so much for that.
And you don't need anybody to tell you your worth. You don't need anybody to approve of your worth. You know where you're coming from, what you've gathered, and where you're going.
Validation, we covered this in the last one. Some of us want to be validated, and although I must say, and at the danger of getting shot down here on this live broadcast, it is a cultural thing to seek validation.
Yeah, it is.
It is a cultural thing to seek permission. And I say this because I have also worked in these international companies. And before I did anything, I would go and speak to my bosses. And I would say, this is what I'm thinking to do. Yet in my same position, if there was an expatriate, someone from another country, they do, and then they ask questions later.
Yes, it's true.
I did not have it in me, and I still struggle with it because it is cultural.
Yes, it's very.
As a Kenyan woman, before I could go out and do something, I want to seek cohesion, diplomacy. We want to peacemaker. We want everybody on the same page. We are calling it buy-in. We can call it anything we can. I believe it is very cultural. Now we have changed. Now we have changed.
Yes.
We are actually going out and doing things, and then we can explain later.
Yes. It's called ignoring.
Yeah. Just move on.
Just ignore.
Just move on.
And go ahead anyway. Yeah.
I'm loving that. So thank you so much, Sheila, for reminding us that it is quite profound. Let's see. Wow, Irene is on a roll. Irene says, I think that God saw the way we were just existing and decided to say, stop. Wait a minute. So we were given 2020 to be better humans, to be purposeful, to live and love more each day. To appreciate little things. Wow. For me, Irene, it's about appreciating little things. What about you, Susan?
Yeah, it is. It is. And I totally agree, Irene, because there's so many things that we did before 2020 that honestly, if we're told to give up now, because we learned how to do in 2020, we will never give that up. We've learned how to appreciate our time. We valued ourselves more. We had more time with family. We had more time with knowing, oh, wait, I could actually do something extra. 2020 taught us how to duplicate ourselves into so many little pieces. And honestly, we needed that. We've never have been, for me, I call it a switch. We're switched off, switched back on. So how you wake up in 2021? That's what I asked when I started. Is it business as usual? I don't think so. Not even in your personal life and business. It's never going to be. And if it is for you, wow. Well, I think you need to go back and reevaluate yourself and say, I need to evolve, because we learned so much from a personal point of view, professional point of view. And Irene is absolutely right. You have to take courage to know this changed me for the better. It wasn't easy, but it changed me for the better.
Yes. Definitely. But, I just want to take us back to shine. I don't want to just gloss over it. And I love the way you broke down shine for us. Now, as a woman who is seeking my own self-love and self-understanding and self-worth, how would I use these aspects of this strategy of shine? Because I would compare myself to others. It is inherently female. That when I go somewhere, I'm busy thinking, look at her, how she's doing it. Envious. I will never be that person. You're always comparing yourself to others, and you're forgetting your own strength. So, Susan, is there anything from Shine, even if it's just one of the alphabets that we can pick to help us trust ourselves and take ourselves to the next level? Anything that you can share?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to say this. Shine is one of the biggest things. And I thought I'd just train it in 2019 and move on, but I've never been able to move up from Shine. Because yes, it talks about strategize, hunt, innovate, navigate, evolve, but I chose evolve. E is my takeaway letter.
Yes.
If I don't change as Susan and accept the things happening around me, accept that my business is going to come with challenges, ignore logic, ignore people's advice, ignore people's compliments or what they're going to say that are going to hurt me. If I don't change as Susan, if I don't evolve, then it's never going to happen. And imagine for me, it's the last letter, E, but I chose E. I chose evolve because if I didn't wake up and realize I'm not in a job anymore, I'd not be where I am. I'm not just running one business now. It took me 1 year to run 3 businesses and 14 years to do one same thing.
Look at that.
One same thing. Come on. One same thing, Lucy.
Let's call one of your businesses COVID because it is only COVID that made you do this.
It's COVID, pre-COVID. I got a few pre-COVID experiences, you know that, but they made me who I am. So out of the letter, the word shine, choose which really moves you. Do you want to navigate differently or innovate? Do you want to hunt in a different way? But I keep saying, if I can evolve as Susan, as a woman, as a different person, oh, please, the rest is downhill. Yeah. I'm going to steer my ship differently. I'm going to go for my clients in a different way. I'm going to duplicate myself and change myself and decide I want to do just more than one thing. Yes, events is my baby, but I want to do so many other things and be happy. So that's the takeaway. I would take your business to the next level. But I'm going to say this, take yourself as a person to the next level.
That is where now I wanted us to touch on. When you take yourself to the next level, businesses come and go.
Yeah.
But you are the constant.
Yeah.
You will be the constant. You're the one who fuels this business. You're the one.
That's it.
Dream and attaches actions and makes it into a goal. You're the one who runs this race.
Yeah.
You're the one who gives the feedback. For instance, Susan, right now, you will never know how many women you are touching right now with your story. With your story that you are able to start 3 things. You actually duplicated yourself and you are able to go ahead and do this stuff. And you have a family. I know you have a family.
Yeah.
But you are able to do all these things because one of the limiting beliefs that we have as women is, I don't have the time.
Yeah.
Yet we all have 24 hours. How come, Susan, you're 24
you
hours
do.
3 companies and children?
Oh, you do.
Yeah, so we just want to make sure that we are aware of the fact that we can take ourselves to the next level. And you are touching lives today. You really are touching lives today, Susan. And thank you so much for just coming and sharing your story with us. And I can see other ladies are joining us. Oh, this is great. Karibuni sana. And please engage us and share with us your thoughts about what is your brand? Why is your brand important to you? Or of what she has talked about when you talk about shine. Which one are you going to pick? For her, shine was very important for her. And she has S as strategies, H as hunt, I as innovate, N as navigate, and E as evolve. And Susan has actually chosen to use evolve as her mantra, something that works on. She is evolving. And the notes that I took down is she needs to accept this change. She needs to accept that life will happen. She needs to accept to ignore logic, other people's advice. Everybody has an agenda.
Yeah.
So are you going to follow somebody else's agenda or yours? So evolve into yourself. Take yourself and stop comparing yourself to others. Oh, wow. Okay, Susan, you talked about success taking courage. How do you celebrate your successes? Or do you have any business best practices that you could share with us, apart from duplicate yourself and multitask?
Well, for me, I keep saying is you have to have amazing relationships across, whether it's with your businesses or people around you, because I came to realize that you get businesses in the oddest of places. I mean, I'm sitting down and I'm getting a call and it's all intertwined into one big company. It's got nothing to do with me, just because somebody knows that, oh, I know this lady and she's done so much in the hotel industry. It had nothing to do with she's a super connector or she's done very well in events management. It's just that I realized I have to be a super connector, whether it's in my business relationships or it's in my personal relationships. That's what I'm saying.
What do you mean by
success takes courage? Sorry?
Super connector. What does that mean?
Anytime you have an engagement with somebody, whether it's business or professional, how do you take that conversation? How do you take that 1-2 minutes connection with that person? Do you meet them? Do you fear away? Do you decide, I'm not going to say who I am? Do you meet a group of people and say, hey, hi guys, my name is Waringa Kamau. I am a PCO and lovely to meet you. If you need me, I'm here. Or you just give your title, or you just decide, I'm not talking to anybody. Are you super connecting with people? Are you looking for avenues and platforms that get you out in the open to people?
Are you planting a seed? Because then
yes,
the minute you're talking, from what I'm hearing now, people now are getting to know who you are, and tomorrow when a conversation is being had, someone can say, is this person?
You'll be mentioned. It's super connections. And you know what, don't think that they only come in offices. Look for them in every platform you are, in a restaurant, whatever you do for your social life, at work, in your emails. For us, we call them written word. What do you do when you drop down an email? Do you do 3 paragraphs to a client? They're like, I have no time. We all know no one has time to read it. What do you say as what are your first 2-3 lines? Are they powerful words? Do they connect like, oh my God, I really want to get to know who event planning is, or not? I mean, how are you connecting to people? Written word on the phone. How engaging are you on the phone? Are you positive? Are you warm? Or you're just like, every time? Super connection doesn't choose platforms. It's on the phone. It's face to face. It's on the email. When you sit down today and draft an email, think before you start saying every long words that it's so cliche. It's the same sentence. Good morning. I hope you're well. No, choose a different first line. Let them want to know who you are and forget about everything else and say, call me if you need me. They'll call you. Leave them wanting to know who you are. Super connect.
Ladies, you need to super connect. And I can see here, oh, I like that, Susan. Super connector. I'm telling you, Irene has connected to you totally, Susan. She's feeling your vibe. Irene, she's just loving the super connector. Well, thank you so much for breaking that down. You also talked about collaborating. What was the other word that you used?
It was collaboration.
It was aligning. It was collaborating.
Yeah.
Partnering.
Yeah, it was having a super connection, having a growth mindset, and of course, collaborating. I keep saying this, you will never win on your own.
So true.
You will never succeed as yourself.
So true.
You will never unveil something that's going to shock the market. Wake up and decide, I'm doing something different. Yeah. And I'm going to say this live. I mean, as EPE, we're unveiling something new on 6th of February. I have experience of 15 years. I am a super PCO connector. but I cannot do it on my own. I want to look for people who have like minds, sit with them and ask each other, what can we do different? How can we hit this market? I mean, they said Bill Gates and all these big people, including all of them, they didn't open their businesses alone. Look for people to teach you the right. Don't look for validation, but look for somebody who has the right mindset and the right growth mindset as you, and sit and say, do you want to win? For me, I call it winning. Like, I want to win. I'm not hiring you to be somebody in my, I want to work with you as a partner. Collaborate with people who have strong minds. Because I keep saying this every day. Honesty is such an expensive gift. You'll never get it from cheap people. So
wow, hold on. I love that. Honesty is a
very expensive gift. Don't expect it from cheap people. Don't go asking people, Lucy, oh, how am I doing at LMC? What do you expect they're going to tell you? I mean, they're struggling with their own lives and their own things. There are those, a quarter of them will tell you the truth, the other will not. And they may tell you something that's going to really bring you down. And that's why we say ignore logic and everything. But you got to collaborate in business. You have to. That's the only way you're going to open. I mean, I had a training and this guy said he's got 5 companies and his role model was Richard Branson, who has 100 companies plus. But he opened 5. But before he got the 5 working, he failed 25 times. So wake up and know you will fail. Yeah. But that's one thing. He collaborated. He talked to people. He talked to people who are struggling and trying. So don't be alone again. Have your own mindset, but just work and say success takes courage. Walk to that Richard Branson. Walk to that Steve Gates. Yeah. Walk to them and just saying, you know what, how did you do this? They will, and if they see that you have the same, they will talk to you. So just talk to people and know how you want to qualify your business. For me, I call it qualifying. So yes. I have a strategy that brings out who you are and what your business is all about.
Wow, I'm loving that. And you brought in a bombshell and then you left. You brought in a bombshell and then you left.
What bombshell?
You said you're launching something on the 6th of February.
Oh, I did. So Event Planning Experts is unveiling something huge on 6th of February. Very, very strong. I don't want to open it up. You know, like how the Kardashian says, oops, I just open up and say something. I am not going to say it. Watch out. Check it.
Yes, we're going to wish you all the best. You are going to share with us your contacts on our Facebook Live.
So I will.
We can just stay aligned with you, and you never know, we may be collaborating very soon. We may be collaborating.
Please do. Would love you too.
Well, Susan, we are coming to the end of the hour, and you know it happens so fast. And I've been hearing lovely things from what you were saying. What 3 takeaways?
Okay, so I think Lucy has just gone off. So she's asked me, what are the 3 takeaways? For me, the 3 takeaways are never give up. Never give up on what you love to do. Never. Try everything. Look for different options and try it again in different ways. It doesn't matter how. Somehow it's going to open up. That's one of my takeaways. The second is stop comparing yourself with people. You will never be another person. And no one will ever compete with you as a brand. And if you already know you're a brand, then you know definitely for sure that you will never have to need to look at the other person and decide, I can be something if I look at the next person. Water your own grass. That's what they say. I'd rather keep at it at event planning and what else I need to do. And whatever goes wrong, I'll sit and work on it. But if I keep looking at the other person who's you could be in the industry for 2 years and meet someone who's been in the industry for 10 years and overtake them in months. So that's my other takeaway. Never compare yourself with other people. The other thing is, like I said, stop looking for validation. Ignore logic. Ignore advice. It's in your gut feeling. It's called instinct. just follow it. This year, I got to open businesses because I just said, I don't care what's happening. I'm pushing event planning and I'm pushing other businesses on the front. And just like saying, we need to duplicate ourselves to be just more than 1% of what we are. So just stop looking for validation. And if you must, then collaborate with the right platforms. That's the only thing I can tell you. You know, it keeps you trapped. It keeps you trapped every time you keep asking somebody, is this correct? Do you think I'm doing well? And you've never stopped to ask yourself, how comes they don't ask you how they're doing? How comes they don't open up with you whether they're doing what they're doing right? So for me, is just stop comparing yourself with other people. Stop looking for validation and never give up. Never give up on what you love. Eventually, it comes to. I had lunch last week with a friend of mine, and she said, choose your hard. Because anyway, it's gonna get hard. So choose the hard you'd like to do, because it's never easy. I am here right now, and Lucy has gone offline, but just to say all the best with your businesses. And I hope that this year, you know that it's not going to be business as usual. You're going to look for alignments. You're going to look for everything that you need to look for. Gone offline, but just to say all the best. I think Lucy's coming back. But all the best, and thank you so much for signing in today. Thank you so much for signing in. We had a good talk. Irene, thank you so much for your involvement. And well, let's hope that we can get you again soon, and all the others.
Hi, Susan, can you hear me?
I can. I have kept it alive. I've tried to keep it alive.
All right. Well, thank you so much. The internet connectivity just gave out here. But thank you so much for your 3 takeaways I was able to follow.
Okay.
All right. So thank you so much, ladies. We will see you next week, where we'll have another equally engaging speaker. Join us on Tuesday Talks at 3. And until then, be kind to yourself. Bye-bye now.